Yep, can't wait to see it. And I think they're almost ready to go, right?
Absolutely. So I could say, let's not waste any time. Let's jump directly into the match.
All right, final quarterfinals. Let's go.
And honestly, I think, I don't know, we are about to find out, but there is a huge chance that Rosalie wants to go second.
Yeah, so Isaias is probably going to be going first, unless he knows that strategy that Roselle has brought.
Is that a 6 or a 1? That's the
one.
big question.
It's a 1.
Okay. It's a 1, and so that was a smooth, throw. And let's find out. I guess. Oof.
Oh no.
Ooh, that's an interesting end from Isaias.
He should have chosen second for sure.
But okay, at least we have one of those crucial spell cards to start things off with. And as mentioned, Rosalie deck is just so interesting.
Yeah, but this is really not it for Crystron K9. For Crystron Inclusion, it's a fine starter because all of your monsters are machines. But if you have to start with Inclusion now, you're going to have to use the Sulfador immediately. And once you've used Sulfador as effect to summon from the hand, you're no longer allowed to summon monsters from the extra deck except machine monsters. So no K9s here.
Things are looking a little dicey just from the start. I mean, we've seen some of these players just not drawing the greatest of hands going first here in the quarterfinals.
Indeed, and I mean, on the other hand, once more, you open Mulcharm is going first, never ideal. And that Nibiru Primal Being, we have mentioned it, it has been a key card for a lot of these duels, but is it really, does it even do anything against Sky Striker? That's the question.
Yeah, it is one of those cards, again, and it's also one of those cards that gets worse the better your opponent is. And you've got to imagine at the World Championships, you're playing some very competent players. And they're going to know exactly how to play around it. We saw Yuna playing around it with the Sky Striker cards, no less, leaving that token on the field. Maybe we'll see something similar from Rosalie, maybe just not doing 5 summons before the battle phase.
Yeah, but as you can see here on screen, this Skeletus has been summoned and will allow to extend plays a little bit more. But you're right, Tom, definitely not the ideal opener because we are a bit stuck as compared to the other options that the deck has. Still, you can see the speed of play is remarkable from Isaias. You know, maybe not the most ideal opener, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, in the normal Crystron deck prior to playing the K9s, I think you run a few more Crystrons, and this start is fine, and you would end with a few more negates if you're just playing Crystrons.
Cyber Dragon Infinity is one of my favorite cards. Love to see it come down here in the quarterfinals of the World Championship. You're talking about only being able to spell summon machine monsters from the extra deck. It's one of the strongest ones.
Yeah, here we go, and we're going to see that very powerful trap. Crystron Cluster stops any of your cards from being banished and also has the once per turn quick effect. You can return a Crystron that is banished to destroy a card on the field, or 2 if you can draw a Crystron Synchro monster.
Yep, and that Crystron Tristaros is going to also allow Isaias to summon a monster from the deck if Roselle does anything on her turn.
And I mean, still look at the amount of cards in the end. Sky Striker is a very interesting deck. You know, it used to play as more of a grind deck. Nowadays, it has some similarities with Tempai in a way, where you can go second, just, you know, break the field and then just close the duel out with a lot of damage thanks to that linkage. And there it is. Rosalie has drawn into her 6th card. What are we gonna start with this duel with? But in the meantime, I believe we can quickly go back to us while they wait for the final setup and clarification.
Yeah, Rosalie is one of those players who has chosen to use no monsters in the hand. So the K9s are going to not be of any use for Isaias for now. Looks like the players are going straight back into action now. Rosalie looking like she's hanging on to a Book of Eclipse and then wondering what other options there are in hand.
Yeah, Cyber Dragon Infinity, great at stopping one card, but with a deck constructed like what Rosalie is using here, there's probably usually plenty of ways to force that out and continue to destroy all the monsters that Isaias has on the field. And it's going to be a start with the normal summon of Sky Striker Ace Ray.
That's an interesting way to start things off, I'd say. Usually, and have we used the effect?
It almost looked like
Wow.
an attack, but that would probably not be what's just happened here.
No. That's an interesting way to start things off for sure.
Yeah, that ray is only once per turn. Normally it was such a menace bringing itself back from the graveyard all the time, but now probably that recursion effect is not going to be enough to cut it. Still a useful one to keep in mind though.
All right, and we're going to see the effect of Ray special summon that brand new Sky Striker Ace 0. And with Ray in the graveyard, Rose in the deck, this is a way to get both those monsters onto the field.
Is it going to be used to add, or are we going to save it until we use the other effect?
Now it looks like Isaias is going to activate the effect of his Crystron monster on the field to special summon and synchro summon.
Yeah, perhaps we will see that powerful Dawn Dragster right now can be used to negate a spell or trap once per turn. Here it comes, FA Dawn Dragster.
It looks like adding Sky Striker, mobilize, engage.
Yeah, here we go. First of many Sky Striker engages. Already had 3 in the last feature match, so let's see if Rosalie can top 3 copies.
It would be much better for her than it was for Felipe moments ago.
But I think you can tell Isaias has done its homeworks, yesterday night. Probably is aware what he's up against and was aware and set up in a way where, you can have this multiple spell and trap negations.
When I talked to him in the interview yesterday, he definitely thought she was playing Malice. So hopefully he did a little more homework after the interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe getting confused between all of the other European players who seems to have brought Malice.
All right, now the Sky Striker Ace 0. Oh, it's Mega Fleet!
Wow, okay.
Mega Fleet just taking care of Infinity.
Wow.
Fusing with it. Absolutely incredible. A card that a lot of players aren't including in their extra deck, but we see it here in Rosalie's deck.
Yeah, I'm sure this caught Isaias by surprise. And wow.
He didn't look that surprised, to be honest. He just kind of did it. So maybe he kind of knew it was coming. Very heads up here. No need to negate Book of Eclipse, because if you do, your monster is just going to, it's already used its effect anyway. And
might as well try and hopefully get a draw at the end phase or something like that.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it leaves a face-down monster in the extra monster zone for Rosalie, which can be a bit annoying, but not if you have a linkage, which can just go ahead and send it. Striker got many ways to send cards from their own field to the graveyard in the form of linkage or multi-roll.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it takes courage, to say the least, to bring, a deck like Sky Striker to an event like this one. And I'm sure she has tested a lot, and even this recognition to include the Mega Fleet in her extra deck, not even side deck, is impressive.
Yeah, that is super cool. I guess it's one of these decks where maybe you have a little bit more room in the extra deck than others, so you just go ahead and make the Mega Fleet. Yeah. Isaias maybe, I mean, I say he may not have been aware, but surely if he was, he just wouldn't have allowed the Rose to be, the 0 to be summoned to the extra deck there, extra monster zone.
Yeah, but flawless performance here, as you can see, summoning first the Mega Fleet to the extra monster zone, then putting it face down. Does not matter because you can get rid of it. And now, yeah, just gonna show how much attack Kagari has.
How much attack does it have?
7. No, it has the boost, no?
But does it not get? Does it get the boost?
100 for each spell.
Yeah, it's the 100 for each spell.
Yeah.
Linkage gives it a
1,000,
boost, but is that not if you have light and dark or something, or is it if you have 3 spells you get the boost?
It's in field or graveyard, so yeah, you do get the boost because you have both Ray and the Link Masters, no?
Yeah, but the Sky Striker 0.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just need a light and a dark.
Yeah, in the graveyard.
Ah, okay.
So that's basically 2,700, yeah.
To main phase 2, Shizuku is going to be summoned to the field. A card will be face down. Another one.
Wow.
Another one. Another one. Another one. 5 spell and traps in the spell and trap zone. In the end phase, the Crystron cluster is going to shut down the Shizuku.
Yeah, but I guess...
Well, it has to be in main phase 2, right?
Or main phase 2, yeah, before the end phase.
Wait, can you not bring back Ray? Maybe she just doesn't want it.
All right,
Definitely bring back Ray, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, maybe she just doesn't need it.
Now we are moving into Isaias' turn.
Yep, it's a pass.
Maybe it's just a play around Azuna. Maybe that's a potential read from Rosalie. If no cards have been used, there's still like 3 or 4 cards in Isaias' hand.
That could be the case.
Yeah, totally. And now plays back to Isaias, and although, you know, his field for the most part has been broken, he still is holding 6 cards in hand.
Yeah, here comes Inclusion again. Gonna get to add another Crystron, and this time the Inclusion is backed up by a pile of Crystrons in the grave. One of them being Solfefnir, which you can use to discard another Crystron, summon itself, and destroy a card you control, and that this will not lock you into machines, so maybe you can get 2 level 5s into play. Also, very heads up, not leaving any cards in your hand against the K9 deck, because they can take advantage of that just by normal summoning.
Yeah, and we know at least one of them is the Engage, so really heads up play, because she did that exclusively, you know, on purpose for that reason. So
I was waiting to see some old-fashioned Sky Striker interaction here with the Shark Cannon to banish from the grave.
All right, going to banish the Crystron Inclusion from the graveyard to special summon back a Crystron monster from the graveyard. See if Rosalie has a response.
ooh, and that's not quite the Shark Cannon, but it works even better, you know?
This is close.
Sky Striker caught by the grave.
Imagine, yeah.
Oh, but you can use the Crystron cluster on called by the
that can
grave.
play around it. A potential oversight there from Rosalie. You can shuffle one back in response to destroy the call by the grave. Who knew the best bit of cluster was that you just got to shuffle back a card rather than destroy a card on the field. Still gonna shut down the Inclusion though, so not a bad thing, but not perfect.
Yep. But it'll keep the Tristaros in the deck.
Oof. We drawn, yeah, I think we've drawn into the second Fugalos as well, so we have 2 Fugalos, 2 Nibiru with the Primal Being, I think, in hand. Kind of an unfortunate series of throws there from Isaias.
Rosalie just checking again. Which are the cards? Make a quick read of Solfador. They're not new, but they are a little bit under the radar, I think.
Indeed.
So back comes Solfador. Now again, we're locked into machines. So again, no K9s will be hitting the table, at least from the extra deck. Gonna get to send 2 from the deck to the grave and trigger Solfador here to summon a Crystron monster. So maybe some more Crystrons can be synchro summoned.
All right, it's going to be Sky Striker linkage. We try and summon a monster and then chain Widow Anchor to take that Crystron Solfador.
That's definitely a very, very, very good play. And as you can see, then you can send the card you control to the grave, so gets rid of the Solfador. And now, in a new chain, you will get so much advantage back.
Yeah, with Lunalight last round and Sky Striker H0 this round, we're actually seeing a lot of impact from Duelist Advance happening here at the World Championship.
Big decision here whether we want to interact. I believe there is one engage set, so the other card is gonna be the unknown one, I guess.
What are we making here? Clockwork Knight?
Yeah.
Yep, Clockwork Knight going to be on the field.
We're gonna have a read at it. It's extremely good against the Yami deck, you know, to try and have the access to Clockwork Knight eventually, but let's see.
I'm wondering why we're linking off the Tristaros for it now, though.
Yeah, we don't have much going on. It's the last card in the loop is, I think it might be, and yeah, that's a pass from Isaias, and This gives Rosalie just so much advantage, because as you can see, you can just summon both Rose and Ray, and then you can also get into the Shizuku, possibly add a second engage, and that just is so much advantage.
The power of the linkage Widow Anchor combo into Sky Striker Ace 0 to bring back is absolutely incredible, and maybe a lot of people have overlooked how much of an impact that card Sky Striker Ace 0 had on the pure Sky Striker strategy.
But yeah, look at this engage back to end with the Kagari, and
I think a lot of the overlooking comes on because a lot of players are more focused on what they don't have as opposed to the cards that they do have, especially when it comes to the Sky Striker cards.
Indeed.
Just saying.
I'm just really wondering what this Clockwork Knight is doing. Like, it could have been a Tristaros still. You could have synchro summoned another monster, but maybe there's just no more synchros to make. He's already been through the Skeletus and a Dawn Dragster, and I think when you include the Canines, maybe you just have to cut a bunch of level 7 synchros.
It looks cool.
True.
I love the artwork on Clockwork Knight.
Yeah, it's pretty nice looking, but now we might just be moments away from Rosalie taking this one. Basically, the main concern right now is playing around the possible disruption in the end from Isaias, but outside of that, she has plenty of damage available, and you can see when your opponent looks up in the sky and does some math, that's never a good sign, I'd say.
Yep, here comes Sky Striker Ace Zeke.
And there is the first engage for +1 of the match. Most likely not gonna be the last. And yeah, it's when it gets to this point, this deck doesn't stop, you know, the grind. It feels like it gets so many resources.
Yeah, the only way Isaias wins this game is if Rosalie makes a slight misstep and walks into some of the thing like Nibiru, but there's probably plenty of ways in Sky Striker to have a game without summoning 5 times, especially when you can summon in the battle phase.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that Rosalie is gonna, even if she walked into the Nibiru, she's gonna have so many cards by the end of it.
Yeah, very true. Yep, and here comes the battle phase. Zeke's gonna take down Clockwork Knight. Hey, the Flawless is online now, so he can chain them here if you want.
Yeah, I think.
Is he not gonna chain it?
I think he's still writing down the life points.
Yeah, he's probably writing down the life points, but no, he's just saying yes. I guess he has just given up on this game altogether. And as you can see here, this is just gonna be too much damage to respond. This is already like around 3000 attack from this Kagari, and then you can just activate it again for the final life points. It seems like Rosalie really has tried their best and makes it by closing this one out. And yeah, there he goes. The
Stop attacking, please. I surrender.
That kind of reminds me of like the Yugi Weevil and the Breaker. Just, I'm already dead. Let him go.
Yeah. I mean, what a show from the deck. As mentioned, we couldn't get it on stream for the entire weekend. We have been waiting, we have been hearing stories about it, and now finally we get to see it in action, and well, I'm convinced.
Yeah, Sky Striker, definitely a solid strategy, and like I said, I think a lot of players overlooked it. They were more focused on maybe some Sky Striker cards we don't have in the TCG, and maybe thought, oh, well, we don't have these particular cards that are available, you know, in other regions. So maybe the Sky Strikers aren't going to be as good, but if you actually take the time to consider and play test and try it out, you could end up not only, you know, in the top 8 of the World Championship, be 1 game win away from making it to the top 4 with a very, very unexpected strategy.
Yeah, let's not count out the Crystron deck so far. I mean, he was basically playing with only 1 card out of his opening 5. None of the Nibirus did anything. The Furlos didn't do anything, and of course the Lupus didn't do anything. The Crystron deck is more focused on canines than any of the other decks that run canines. So, you know, you run those 3 chaotic elements often to have, you know, 6 copies of Jokor. So you really want to see that card maybe, and instead just seeing the Lupus and double Nibiru. So let's see if maybe it goes a little better in game number 2.
Yeah, that's right. Our first 2 quarterfinal, or sorry, the first quarterfinal match was, you know, pretty quick and easy there for Julian. But the last 2 matches we just watched, both the players that won game 1 did end up losing the match. So down, but definitely not out.
Absolutely not. On the other hand, you just gotta give credits to her for the deck building in the end, it was also that mega fleet who really, you know, completely disrupted the Cyber Dragon Infinity. And this poses also a huge question on Isaias. Are you just gonna summon that Infinity again throughout the rest of this match? How are you gonna try and prevent that? So it's definitely out there, and I'm interested in seeing how, you know, he's gonna try to approach this matchup. Obviously, it's a deck where you really wanna go first and set up your combos, but I think it's always a matter of, do you let the Sky Striker deck go first and then try and win like that? Because it shuts down a lot.
I think you do. I think that might be the play, and I wonder, maybe he's going to look back and think, maybe I should have let her go first in that first game as well. But as I mentioned, he might not have been as familiar with the strategy that she brought here. Because when I was talking to him last night, he thought she was on Malice, which you're never going to want to let your opponent playing Malice go first, potentially. But you never know how it's going to play out here. He's definitely going to have to shake off that first game. You mentioned he drew really bad. Like, that was, we've seen Lupus in the hand more than we've seen it on the field here so far in top 8.
Yeah, I mean, that Mega Fleet certainly would have been a surprise. So this time you kind of know Rosalie's not going to get away with just summoning the Ray, summoning a thing. Well, there's an Infinity on the field. You're going to use that Infinity negate just straight away and just say, okay, well, if you Mega Fleet it, it's already got its negate. I'm not going to be too sad if you just want to remove one of my monsters.
Yep, definitely. And I'm excited to see how it's going to play out in
Absolutely,
Game 3.
And regardless, if we ever go to a Game 3, and if, I mean, Rosalie thinks that, you know, she's going to go first, she has some, you know, aces up her sleeve, not just in the Sky Striker ace cards, but, I mean, also in the side decks. I can tell you there are some exciting surprises there. Don't want to reveal too much about that yet, but hopefully, you know, we'll have also some blasts from the past that we have not seen in a long time, and love to see that creativity and love to see, again, that boldness in just bringing such an underrated strategy to the event, maybe taking some inspiration about, you know, the European Championship. But regardless, as mentioned, we might be one game away from having another semi-final with both players from the same region, with Tom and Rosalie. But I think Isaias has something to say against that. So I think without further ado, as our players are getting ready, let's jump back and let's go to Game 2.
And oh, here we go. This is a lot better for Isaias here. This is really the start you want to see. You've got your K9s online, and K9s online will get you straight away to your Crystons as well, thanks to an old rank 5 Infinitrack Riverstormer comboing with an even older card, Scrap Recycler. I know a lot of players recently were sort of digging those out of their old tins, going, I know I had 100 of these, but I just need to find one.
Yeah, it is a card that just, you know, bakes all the deck together, you know, bringing this two amazing engine. Yeah, we are gonna start things off with this Ripper. Obviously, we are still unaware of what's in the deck for Rosalie. Is it really just going second cards? Does she have some, you know, Nibiru of her own? And this Ripper is always a nice way to have, you know, some insulation from possible responses.
Yeah, it is a little scary because a lot of other decks, you know, the deck lists are kind of, you know what to expect. You know, if you play against Yummy, you're going to play against, you know, 14 Yummy cards, a couple of Obedient School, a couple of Sky Strikers, and then, you know, either some Field Breakers or some Hand Traps. And again, you know roughly what you're up against Crystron. Sorry, yeah, maybe not so much against Crystron, but against Vanquish K9. Yeah. But against Sky Striker, it's anyone's guess. This deck is not a popular deck. Players have to go out on their own when they build it, and it also means when you're playing against it, you're somewhat on your own.
Yeah, definitely off to a much better start here. And now we're going to see why these two strategies work so well together, being able to go into the Infinitrack. And that's going to be able to add Scrap Recycler, which will access the Crystron Smeagol, and all the other Crystron cards will come following after that.
Yeah, here we go. Comes the Scrap Recycler. And yeah, as you said, it's a much better way to get access to the Crystron inclusion here is by doing all of this. First, you've already got a Ripper, you've already got a couple of K9s in hand, you've already got a forced release to go with the Ripper, so quite a lot of action.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Willy in the past. Now we might see a little bit of a Wally here helping out this deck, you know, function and bringing these cards into fruition. Obviously, as mentioned, I have also the possibility of adding, you know, some interesting continuous spell cards to the deck. Not going to be quite successful against the Sky Striker, but my main question is this field. How is it going to look like now that you're fully aware what you're up against and that mega fleet? So
yeah, I want to say the Crystron deck actually puts up one of the scariest end fields of all at the moment, to be honest, because I mean, Yummy, it's quite compact, but Crystron is just one of those decks where they just keep adding cards, they keep summoning cards in combination with the K9s. You get like 3 or 4 rank 5s, and then the Crystrons giving you access to Cyber Dragon Infinity and a Dawn Dragster, and Sky Strikers obviously need their spells to resolve, so Dawn Dragster a pretty premium card against them as well.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely having a deck that has access to spell and trap negates is huge here in this matchup.
Now we're going to send a Crimson Cluster. It was pretty much the main help that Isaias had in the previous game, and you know, it's definitely a solid card against the Sky Striker deck, but we might need more. And here comes the Lizardos, interestingly enough.
Lizardos, are we just using it to draw a card at the end of the combo? He's not got anti-spell fragrance in the side.
Could be.
Maybe
Just banishing itself off the field.
God, can you imagine anti-spell fragrance against Sky Striker?
I feel like that would be a throwback. Yeah.
Indeed. I've seen a few going around, you know, in the weekend, but for now, I think, I mean, the end looks much better. As you've mentioned, Tom, in the previous game, I mean, it didn't look all that close, but still, he set up a pretty decent field and had to do it pretty much with 1-2 cards in hand. Now he has a full hand of interesting options to shut down Rosalie later on.
Yeah, I mean, he's only used 2 cards to start his combo rather than just the 1, but it just makes so much difference. 1 + 1 is not equal to 2. In this case, it's equal to about 10.
Now we're seeing the 2 level 5s be overlaid here, probably for a Cyber Dragon Nova.
It does have to be a machine, but this time you do have to watch out before your opponent gets to anything.
Yeah, basically.
You really have to use that Haggard Lizardos. Don't just start the turn with a monster in the extra monster zone and a Cyber Dragon monster. Oh, could you imagine?
Because the Mega Fleet would just use those 2 materials. Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
But yeah, looking at that hand, it is massive. I've seen players even use Silhouette Rabbit, because you get the cluster as a continuous trap and you can search the other one, which negates cards for each continuous trap you have, but that does feel like a little bit too much.
A little extra. Now drawing a card, hoping it's a disruption.
Yep, there's a little bit of clarification here.
That is how, Hazard Lizardos works.
Yep.
Yeah, very flexible. Link 2 can just remove itself to draw a card, which I guess is the ticket in a lot of decks.
I wonder if is there something that stopped him from activating an effect or banishing or something?
There's no prosperities or other pots stopping him from drawing. Having a
Imagine
little
it'd be a
discussion.
Quick. Oh, I guess you're coming back to us.
Yeah, I mean, might as well while we wait.
We have chairs behind us, guys.
Yeah,
Surprise! Our feet would hurt pretty bad if we had to stand for these past 5 hours that we've had to commentate with no breaks. Oh no, we're right back in the game, going back down in the chairs.
And we've missed a little bit of action, but I think it's not too hard to figure out what happened. 3 cards was set, and Isaias has passed his turn, so this Infinity gonna do the trick, hopefully, and gonna use its effect before getting it fused away.
Hey, Upstart Goblin, that's a lot of people's favorite card. They love giving their opponents life points and drawing a card.
Yeah, that is definitely one of mine. So let's
there,
go for it.
It's you. I
it
knew
was
someone
me. You
was
asked me yesterday.
I knew someone was talking about it. I couldn't remember who it was, but it was you. That's right.
I just love the fact that you can use this card again, because it's been so long, really, that you've had a reason. Beforehand, though, Drawn Lock Bird is such a threat to running this card because you can't really afford to activate it. But just want to talk about what Rosalie has just drawn, because Marcello said, does Rosalie think she's going first? And maybe she did think she was going first, because that looked like a solemn judgment in the hand.
Oof. And here comes that Stabilize, engage. We have a lot of ways to answer this card, but you're right, Tom. That might be what she's going for, but no response. So Isaias just keeping, his options for something more threatening.
Yeah, I'm really wondering what this Tristaris is being held for, because normally you just kind of want to rank it up as fast as possible into a level 7 synchro. Is it the case? Maybe he just doesn't have any level 5 Crystons in the deck, something like that?
And here comes the Ray, and I think once more we have used the effect.
She's not getting away with it this time.
Yeah, this time the Cyber Dragon Infinity is going to be used, but chained by that Widow Anchor. But of course, we know that Cryston Cluster is there, and he's going to target his own Cyber Dragon Infinity to destroy it, so its effect will resolve, negating the Ray, and also, not having to worry about Mega Fleet.
Exactly. But now the key number of 3 spells in the graveyard has been achieved by Rosalie, so if there is another engage, that could be something.
And someone needs to tell Isaias how to use Cluster. He's not yet just used it to just normally destroy one of his opponent's cards. He's destroying his own cards. He's destroying Called by the Grave. Very flexible card in terms of what it can do.
Indeed, and we actually go and set a card. That's an interesting one. Before activating triple tactic thrust.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes you set cards to try and play around what we know is a Ripper, or to activate a linkage.
So, the Ash Blossom we use, but linkage is basically going to use kind of like a forbidden droplet to utilize being able to send a card that's just on the field that would otherwise go to the graveyard at the end of the chain.
But now finally that Tristaros has been activated.
But yeah, I'm just wondering, why wouldn't you just activate this way sooner, and then you would have had this spell negate? Because the later you leave a negation like this, sometimes your opponent's like snuck through a few more effects. Like maybe you really don't want this linkage to resolve.
Totally get what you are saying that, but let's see if Isaias gets punished at all.
Are we just activating Rose on someone, or was there something that destroyed it? Maybe it's just straight. Maybe she's just activating it immediately when it's been summoned.
Does look like that is the case.
Yeah, you do have, priority to use a quick effect on the summon as long as there aren't any triggers. So sometimes it's worth it just to stop any shenanigans from happening from the opponent. Just activate it immediately in case your opponent has some like non-targeting removal. You see this Dawn Dragster, it's just going to get cleared up.
Going after the Ripper.
Yeah, going after the Reaper, because we know that there is the force release face down that now is going to be completely useless. So, yeah, definitely an interesting sequence. I agree with you, Tom. And as you can see, Rosalie has a lot of options still available.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of cards from Isaiah have not been used to their fullest potential. That force release not getting activated.
Ooh.
Okay, so Sky Striker Ace Azalea is going to come down to destroy that, or send the Cryston Cluster to the graveyard.
Yeah, even with all this, Isaiah's just got hundreds of cards. Rosalie just got a few.
Hundreds.
I don't know.
No, it's a ton of cards. I'm just giving you a hard time there. And now, the Dawn Dragster just seemed like it was just summoned too late in the turn.
Indeed. And although, again, the opening was absolutely incredible by Isaias, Rosalie is once more finding a way. And again, one Infinite Permanence on the end, saved by Isaias to stop that engage from being added back.
Here comes a Shizuku. I'm wondering, like, the chaotic elements in hand for Isaias here is a card. It has this bonus effect. I think it has to, you can banish it from the grave and you can take control of, I can't remember exactly the types. I'm just wondering if the Sky Striker meets any of them. I know, funnily enough, Roselle Detonator does, meet one of them. So you can just like activate it, search a card, and then banish it and take your opponent's detonator, which is an absolutely ridiculous interaction.
Yeah.
But I don't think it works on any of the Sky Striker monsters, but worth a read from Isaias just in case. I think it has to be light or dark.
But here we get one of the most interesting cards also all the way back at the European Championship, that Lemnis Gate, just giving so much recursion to the Sky Striker deck, and that's gonna be an issue going forward. But most importantly, if you're right and there was that Solemn Judgment, that might be good even going second in this instance, you know?
Yeah, sometimes when you draw those cards that you plan for going first, as long as you can break through the field that's established, it can actually be quite useful in the same vein as if you went first, because then now you have control of the field.
Absolutely, what a back and forth, but I think we have thrown into a case for K9, is it? Anyways, from Isaias, still a lot to do, and yes, it is a case for K9 indeed, trying to get access once more to this Justice Hunter's archetype.
Lantern has already been used, has it? Or is there still option to draw it?
It has been used turn 1, this tool.
You just got to watch out for any more. Has Isaias even kept in his Azunas? Because it feels like Rosalie's just pretty disciplined and not activating any cards that would trigger it. So here comes Jokel.
Yeah, even though the field is destroyed, plenty of ways for the K9 cards to get to the field, and it's going to be Jokel revealing Izuna, both these monsters being special summoned to the field.
But now also the question becomes how many extra deck options we have. We have used quite a few going first from Isaias. I mean, I guess Zeus is always there, always annoying for the Sky Striker deck to deal with. But yeah, rank 5s are getting slim.
Well, there's got to be something left. He's either got some Christrons or some rank 5s. Surely. Sending another Jokel, which is interesting when he's got that Chaotic Elements in hand, which I think Jokel is the only target for. So maybe he just sent the third Jokel there. But added a Lupus.
Yep. Here comes Lupus, and one card in hand from Rosalie. Tried her best to play around this additional normal summon effects from the K9 monsters. And let's find out what is going to be this Exceed summoned by Isaias.
Oh, this is a very powerful rank 5. Can be used to special summon some more from the grave. We saw it used to great effect in Master Duel yesterday to special summon some very impactful rank 5s to the opponent's side of the field. But now we're just going to be summoning probably our own back.
Yep, the Imperial Princess Queen Query can extend plays further.
That is something I love about the K9 cards, is you have to kind of take a look at all rank 5s that have ever been released and how they can be useful even in today's terms.
You were right, Tom. There was the Solemn Judgment, maybe with Rosalie thinking that she was going to go first, so this is going to shut it down. Definitely not what Isaias was expecting while going first, but...
Chaotic Elements can add from the graveyard. Wait, is it destroying something as well?
I mean, we have to count if there are enough Pyro and Aqua monsters, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That was just devastating. I did not realize it could add from the grave, but yeah, adding back a Lantern and then... Yeah, this is crazy.
Lantern's huge. It's going to be able to special summon back a level 5 monster and special summon itself from the hand. It's been a non-stop access to level 5 after level 5 after level 5.
Yeah, here comes one more rank 5. Maybe, but like Valon, not so good. He does have that Chronomaly. Can be used as an extra monster negate. How big is the Shizuku is another question. Rosalie just kind of smiling to herself.
I mean, yeah, might as well do. The graveyard is full of spells, but I don't believe we are on 10 yet, so it's gonna be a close one for sure. And you can see Isaias looking at his graveyard fully.
Is there really no way to get back into the Christrons?
Apparently not, and look at this extra deck, one of the few options left, the Valon.
Valon, not so great against Sky Striker. It might be against some of the other matchups that you'd face in the World Championship.
But yeah, we can get the Ray back, and without that Izuna, this might be a worrying one, because the face down effect doesn't really do anything against Sky Striker. Can she pull this off again? I mean, I guess you can make Zeus, but
Zeus would be much better than Valon, and that is what Isaias is going to summon here.
So
Zeus with only 3 materials, it's only going to have one opportunity to use the effect.
I mean, really trying his best, but in the end, even once more, when it seems like everything was over, we're activating the effect. Oh, I think we accidentally, I mean, we knew what the card was anyways, but yeah, I guess this was an interesting choice.
Just going to rely on the Ash Blossom. He can summon this Lupus, but like, what is it going to do? Just turn... I don't even know what.
I guess, yeah.
Is there a reason to have it on the field? Is there another way to get another monster?
Especially not in defense mode. You got to stick to your guns. But it's only got 200 defense. That's not very many.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, the last card in hand is a pretty good one, but oof, I mean, it's gonna get close. I think on the other hand, maybe Rosalie. Also, there was a different line where, once she got that Sky Striker monster on the field, she could have just used it right away there to get a card back and, thought about this Zeus. And I think this would have completely closed this game out.
Only 1 card in hand, drawing to 2. Yeah. What is she going to have to deal with the Zeus? It's going to be Tom's favorite card, Upstart Goblin.
Oh, no, you cannot. Can you?
Do it. Do it. Do it. He did! It's Ash Blossom on Upstart Goblin!
On an Upstart Goblin, and we know the last card in and from Rosalie, of course, that... Wow.
And he has enough damage on the field with the Zeus. Maybe he summoned the Lupus because he knew he would need the damage on the following turn, so he needed the monster. So he just summons it out there, because now he can put both his monsters into attack mode.
Getting out his pen to add up 3,000 and 2,300.
That's absolutely incredible.
It's more than 3,500.
How many times have you heard a joke about using Ash Blossom on Upstart Goblin? And to see it happen here in the quarterfinals of the World Championship, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. And you can see Rosalie smiling, looking at the camera. We know the last card fence down is that Lemnis Gate, which could potentially spin something back to the end, but it's gonna be so close here.
Yeah, how many monsters are there? Sky Strikers, there's got to be a couple, right? And this will get rid of the Zeus and potentially the Lupus, because the Lupus will get banished.
Absolutely, and there it is. She's going to activate it, bouncing back both to the end.
Has she got 6? That's 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Here comes 6.
So and 2 monsters returned.
Both gone. The Lupus is gonna get banished. It doesn't get much better than this. Both duelists down to top deck mode. What was the draw for Isaias here?
How many times have we seen a top deck of Sky Striker Immobilize engage in the past? Wow. Will we see one here?
But there are so many good cards that you can draw here. Like so many. It's all coming down to this card, but what can he even do at this point? Like, the extra deck is so thin.
Yeah, Rosalie, though, sitting there with just having shuffled all the cards back into the deck. Everything is live for Rosalie, nothing live for Isaias. The main thing going for him there is maybe there's a difference in life points, because Sky Striker
can't do it all. And it's a pass. What is it going to be? Crucial draw. It's a terraforming. That's not quite it, is it? If she has area 0.
No, she has Chicken Game. She has
Chicken
Game.
It's Chicken Game! We're about to play a Chicken Game here in the quarterfinals.
Absolutely insane.
The life point difference will continue.
Oh, wow. And this will give then an option for Isaias as well.
What a real throwback to these Sky Striker cards. Just say, give me any spell, draws a card, and then puts itself in the grave. Rosalie just, got to draw that one ray, and that might seal the deal.
So many good draws available to Rosalie. Can she find any of her Sky Striker card? What is it going to be? Looking in the air, and no,
spell and trap.
Just a face
Played
down.
Back to Isaias. Isaias draws. That's not a card he can summon.
Not quite. But you can use the Chicken Game.
We're playing the Chicken Game.
Use the Chicken Game.
Is he going to destroy it, or is he going to draw a card?
You have to draw. You have to draw. This is your chance. Draw.
Bold decision. It's a draw.
Oh, no.
Of a draw on Lockbird.
I mean, I guess you can use it next turn
When
once
the
that chicken game activates again, but what is this game turned
We're
into?
playing a chicken game. Play is back to Rosalie.
This is
Rosalie's going to pay
absolute
another
madness.
1,000 life points
Oh, wow.
to draw another card with chicken game.
Here we're going to see this draw
On the chicken game.
What is going on?
Imagine she actually drew engage but gets drolled
Yeah.
on the chicken game. That would have been absolutely crazy.
That's unbelievable. Do we finally get a monster?
It's a
with
Ray! It's Ray! A huge draw.
And he can't use the Phantasme because of the draw on Lockbird.
Wow.
Oh my, you couldn't write this.
Absolutely. Look at this.
Goes to battle phase, attacks with Ray, uses the effect to tag out for Hayate. Hayate is going to attack directly just because there's no cards on the other side and going to send a Sky Striker card from the deck to the graveyard.
Usually you get the engage, but in this case you can't activate engage, so it's not going to be quite it. You can see the linkage, such a powerful card, but we are gonna move on to main phase 2 using the Kagari to add it back to the end. And look at this, what is Rosalie even able to accomplish and having this possible win?
Yeah, but is that Kagari just going to stay on the field?
Yeah.
Because if it is, can you switch off your own chicken game? Oh, that's the best draw for Isaias, surely.
Yeah, that's one of the better cards.
He needs to get rid of the chicken game so he can do damage at some point.
But you can just pay 1,000 to
Just
destroy
by itself,
it.
yeah, instead of drawing. But Chaotic Elements, huge draw here from Isaias.
What a draw, but we have to play through this linkage as well. And yes, it's going to be a 50. And now you pick up...
Adds the lantern.
Wow. What is Rosalie thinking when she's she's saying, let me read this lantern, what's it going to do in the hand? There's got to be a couple of canines in the grave, so you can't really get rid of a target first.
Yeah.
I cannot believe we're just playing a chicken game.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy. And oh, it's gonna come down also to the number of spells. We have shuffled back a fair amount, to be honest. And that Kagari, we can't be quite sure how big it is. And yes, we are paying.
He wants to draw, so if he wants to win this turn, he's going to have to do something else to destroy the chicken game because the player with the lower life points doesn't take any damage. And it's going to be a defensive card.
Yeah,
it's probably not what he was looking for.
Not quite what he was looking
do it.
for.
How's Rosalie still got enough life points to keep using this chicken game? Is she actually on 1,500?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, but she can't take any damage while the chicken game is in play.
Yeah, what a card that was. I mean,
you can make a rank 5, but what is your rank 5 going to do?
Do you even have any rank 5s left at this point? That's the question. So...
No. You have imperm to set the attack lower.
Wow, you can see really Isaias thinking about this so much. It has been such a long duel, and we can't be more glad. And it's a pass. Oh, wow. It is a pass. And now, yeah, Rosalie just gonna make sure that she doesn't do any mistakes, you know, checking that second effect of the chaotic elements, taking control of a monster. What is it gonna be that draw?
Does she have even more Kagaris? She must do.
Is it just an attack? What a close match. You can feel the tension going. And it's going to be just an attack.
Has she got more tricks?
This is just the never-ending game.
What is going on? What is in the extra deck left for Rosalie?
But Phantasma is going to be able to come down. Can't go too fast.
No. That was very quick indeed.
Okay, yeah. Maybe you got to slow it down there. But no, he's okay with waiting to the Kagari to activate the Phantasma. But maybe there was an opportunity to use it on the Kaina there.
For sure. I mean, for sure there was, but apparently it's...
it like blinked out onto the field.
No, I mean, it has to be done this way for Isaias because he has infinite impermanence, so you can negate a Kagari.
True. True. Good spot there, and apparently, yeah, Rosalie is thinking about this.
I think they're saying just to slow down the play and not play as quickly in the future because, yeah, you definitely need to give your opponent an opportunity to respond.
Was there an attack even? It
yeah,
sort of looked like
it. Yeah, there was. It's down to 1900 now, so quite a few spells, and as you can see here, probably giving, you know, a check. He needs to, you know, when it comes to Rosalie, that's what she's clarifying with the judges, that she gave enough time and now she's targeting. But there goes the Black Gold Loves
An
and
infinite impermanence
impermanence.
chain targeting the Sky Striker ace Kagari.
What a game.
Everything getting negated.
Nobody being able to do anything.
Yeah,
Chicken
what is
game.
the text of Phantasmate? I assume it has to destroy. And she's lost the chicken game. She's paid 1,000 to destroy it.
So only 500 life points remaining. One more card to the spell and trap zone. The Kagari's going to the graveyard for what can only be a Sky Striker ace Shizuku. In phase, it's going to add a Sky Striker spell that's not in the graveyard, and we have not seen Mobilize engage, and now this is the turn Isaias needs to close out the duel, or Rosalie will be moving on to top 4.
Yeah, absolutely brave play by the former runner-up at the European WCQ, deciding to pop her own chicken game, and now one more draw for Isaias. Can he pull a miracle off? Can he bring himself back into this quarter-final? And is it Foolish Burial?
Does that do anything?
Oof.
I don't know what
There's
Christian
been so many
has
draws.
left.
So many draws that just have no impact.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels like he has gone through so much. Now she is aware of both the Lantern, the Phantasmai, and must be wondering what's left for the American player.
I don't think that Snatchy is going to do the trick.
Checking again, extra deck option and activating this Foolish Burial.
He just needs anything. I mean, I don't know how much spells there are in Grave.
His
What
deck
is
is almost
even there?
completely depleted. Only a few cards left there in the deck.
Doesn't seem like there is much going on there, and you can see him just debating whether to simply send an Izuna. That must not be a good sign.
Yeah, not really what you want to send, because you could have just searched it with a Jokal.
Wow, and here comes the last push pretty much from Isaias, using this Lantern to bring back the Izuna. Do we have another option in the extra deck? At this point, we must be down to like 5 cards left. And I believe we are gone through everything, but only one remaining card.
There must have been 6 spells, because Isaias took that much damage, 2,100, which does mean the Izuna on 2-4 is bigger than Shizuku, but not by 500. It needs to do 500 damage.
And it seems like we are actually gonna go and
Tribute
summon
Phantasmai
Phantasmai
by
and
Solemn
Judgment.
What is going on?
Now Isaias only has 1 card in hand, passes back to Rosalie.
And we know the engage is in the end. There comes the engage. No response. Only 1900 damage is needed for Rosalie to bring this
The 500 got halved to 250.
Oh, wow. What a match. I'm so glad that there is no time limit for this one, because I'm sure we would be way over. And look at this ending.
I don't even know what was going to happen if the Phantasmai got tribute summoned, to be honest, but there we go.
The way this game's been going, Shizuku's going to attack. 400 life points
the
left.
Linkage, 400 life points left. We know the last card is the Izuna, so it's going to come down to this. One more push, and we know it's enough.
Sky Striker, ace,
and
0.
there is the handshake. Rosalie takes the match 2-0. What a comeback, what a feat. Takes Sky Striker all the way down to the semi-final against Tom.